Remove the fuel hose clamp, then remove the fuel hose from the fuel nipple on the carburetor by grabbing it with pliers and twisting it to break the seal. Then use side cutters to gently pry the fuel line off the nipple on the carburetor. Turn the side cutters around to get some extra clearance to remove the fuel line. You can stand the carburetor in a cap from a spray can. Put the carburetor in the container and spray it down with carburetor cleaner to wash any dirt off the surface. Next, blow away the dirt with compressed air. Remove the fuel bowl nut with a 10mm wrench. If the bowl is stuck in place, you can hit it gently with the wrench to break it loose. Remove the float pin, tip the carburetor upright, and the float and needle will fall out. Remove the needle from the float, being careful not to lose the spring. Separate the spring from the needle. Remove the idle stop screw, which is holding the idle air jet in place. Then use the side cutters to pry the idle air jet out. Remove the main jet using a flathead screwdriver. If it is stuck, you can remove it by wrapping it with a wrench or banging it on your workbench. You've also removed the emulsion tube. Use a length of wire to clean out all of the passageways. Spray the passageways with carburetor cleaner. This will dissolve any gum or deposits. Spray inside the seat. Then mount a cotton swab in a drill and spray the cotton swab with carburetor cleaner. Spin the cotton swab on the seat gently. Rinse off the seat with carburetor cleaner, also through the fuel inlet. And clear out the passageways again. Use a modified carburetor cleaner tube. You can heat it up and bend it at a 90-degree angle to get inside the throat of the carburetor and spray the jets which are drilled into the side of the throat. Use compressed air to blow the jets clean. Blow all the passageways clean. Blow the seat area clean. Clean the top of the bowl nut with a wire brush. Spray it clean with carburetor cleaner and dry it off with compressed air. Spray the float with carburetor cleaner. Use a toothbrush to remove any stubborn deposits. And a clean paper towel. Rinse it off and dry it with compressed air. Clean off the needle. Wipe the rubber seat with clean paper towel. Rinse it off and then blow it dry. Have a look at the rubber needle to see if there is a ring. If the rubber is worn and there is a ring, the needle must be replaced. Clean the idle air jet with a thin wire. Spray carburetor in from the bottom and you should see it shooting out of the sides. Blow compressed air through it and dry it off. Spray the inside of the bowl with carburetor cleaner, and if there's corrosion or stubborn deposits, use a wire brush to clean them off. Rinse it off with carburetor cleaner. Wipe it down with a clean paper towel. Rinse it again. Clean the emulsion tube using a wire. Pass it through the holes of the emulsion tube. If there's gum or varnish on the exterior of the emulsion tube, you can gently mount it in a drill and use steel wool to polish it clean. Do not wear rubber gloves while doing this, as the rubber glove could become wound around the emulsion tube. Block the end of the emulsion tube and spray carb cleaner in the other end. This will force it through the holes in the side. Then blow carburetor cleaner through the emulsion tube, then clear it out with compressed air. Use a wire to clean the whole of the main jet. work it around to clear out any gum or varnish. Spray carb cleaner through it. You should see a nice even cone shape. Clear it out with compressed air. If the exterior is varnished or gummed up, use a toothbrush and some carb cleaner. Rinse it off. And blow it dry. Now reassemble the carburetor. Insert the emulsion tube, then the main jet. Tighten the main jet down. Make it good and snug so it doesn't vibrate loose. Insert the spring back on the needle. Then carefully put the needle and spring back on the float. Make sure the spring is seated properly against the float. Insert the float assembly back onto the carburetor and secure it in place with the pivot pin. You can test it for air tightness by blowing through it and seeing if there's an air leak. If it doesn't leak air, it's certainly not going to leak gasoline. Install the fuel bowl. Tighten down the bowl nut, finger tight. And spray some spray lube on the washer so it does not become damaged when you tighten it down. Tighten it down with a 10mm wrench. Put some spray lube on the idle air jet. Push it back into place until it is seated. Needle nose pliers with a twisting motion can help get it seated. And screw in the throttle valve stop. Turn it in until the throttle valve is sitting 90 degrees to the end of the stop. Reconnect the fuel line and secure it with the hose clamp.